I have mentioned in recent videos how I have been really into just creating beautiful little spaces in my home. And recently I was at the thrift store, actually it was an antique store that's local to me, and I found this little piece here, and I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do with it when I bought it, but I knew it would be really cute somewhere in my home, and I decided to put it here at the end of my hallway. Now, it was sitting in our entryway for maybe 24 hours, and the kids already had like put books in it and stuff, so that's why I'm emptying those out here. But I just thought this was a cute little piece that I did not want to not purchase, and it was nicely priced, and so it looks so cute there. Then also while I was shopping, I found a couple of baskets, a cute picture frame, and I'm just trying to make a little spot here at the end of my hallway. Now eventually I want to hang this cute little photo light above the new piece that I bought with a picture frame, but I'm not exactly sure what yet, and so for now, that's as far as I got, but I will be adding to that later on depending on what I can find. Alright, so right now I'm going to be making up some southern fried pork chops. We have a bunch of pork. I know I've mentioned this a million times on this channel, but my younger sister has a farm and she raises hogs, cows, and also chickens. And so it is the best place to source meat for me because it's all pasture raised and organic, and I am so glad that I have a local source of meat. And the best part is that she keeps all the meat at my parents' house, and so anytime I'm out there I can just grab the meat that I need. And so anyway, long story short, we have a lot of pork because we recently purchased a whole hog from her, and so we are basically out of beef, which I definitely prefer like beef steaks over pork steaks. I don't know about you, but I think that's probably a majority of people prefer that. But I can make some really yummy things with pork, and so today I'm actually going to be breading my pork chops with some flour, and it has some like salt, pepper, cayenne, paprika, just a few different types of seasonings in there. And then I'm going to just pan fry them in some bacon. Now I also get all of my bacon from my sister, and because it's such a good source of meat, I don't like to waste any of it. So I even save all of the fat off of my bacon, and I use that for frying, just like I am doing right here. I oftentimes get asked if my sister can ship her meat, and that's a new thing, but she can. So I will link her website down below in my description box. She can't ship everywhere, but she can ship to majority of the states in the United States. So if you are interested in getting meat delivered to your house that has really good quality meat, it's delicious, you guys can check out the link down in my profile. Anytime that I am making a lunch such as this on my channel, so many people comment and ask why I am making such a huge lunch and why I don't just make, I don't even know what lunch things are. Like, I guess sandwiches maybe, or chicken wraps. I don't know, I'm trying to think of like what are normal lunches. I don't know. I cook 3 big meals a day, and my lunches are no different than a dinner here. It's just the way that I do it. I know that my mom and my sisters cook the same way, so maybe it's because of that. I also like to blame it on the fact that I have a large family, so it's just easier this way. But this is just the way that I cook, and so anytime that I'm in the kitchen, I am making something for lunch. It's also something that I guess majority of people would make for dinner. But whenever you're home, you have a little more time to make these types of meals. And honestly, I just find them to be just as quick whenever you're cooking for such a large family. Now I'm kind of serving everything up over here on my kitchen island today because over on the kitchen table I'm working on some soap that I am making, and so that is all over the table, so we will be eating here at the bar top today. I'm going to take a quick break in this video to tell Element thank you for sponsoring today's video. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink with everything you need and nothing you don't. So if you are looking for a healthy way to make sure that you're getting all of the electrolytes that you need in your body, even in the winter when you're not outside like sweating all the time, it's still really important to make sure that you are replacing electrolytes. And so one of my favorite ways to do that is with the Element chocolate blends. In the wintertime, they are so good because you can basically make a hot chocolate or add it into your coffee. And the best thing about Element is that it is made with no added sugar, no artificial ingredients. It doesn't have any fillers or colors or any of that bad stuff. It's gluten-free, so it's great if you are following the paleo or a keto or just say low carb diet. So if you are looking for a healthy way to make sure that you're getting all of your electrolytes, you need to try out Element. And right now, Element is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. And so in the sample pack, you get to try 8 different flavors. So this is a great way to see which flavor is your favorite, or even a great way to share Element with a friend. And so if you guys are ready to try it, you can go to drinkelement.com/ouroilyhouse. That's DRINKLMNT.com/ouroilyhouse, or you can use the link down in my description box below. All right, so I'm down here in my deep freezer. This is kind of the way that I meal plan, is just getting out different assortments of meat. I'm never quite sure what I'm going to be making with that said meat when I put it into this bowl, but having meat defrosted in the refrigerator is a good start to being able to make a meal. So at the beginning of the week at some time, I grab my big bowl, fill it up with meat, and put it in the refrigerator so it can start defrosting. And then on a given day, that's how I kind of decide on what I'm going to make as I go into the refrigerator, and whatever is defrosted is what I will make for a meal. All right, so now I am working on some cleaning. Even though I have this ginormous pile of dirt here on the ground, this floor gets swept 3 times a day, I would say. And every once in a while, I feel like it's time for a little bit more of a deep clean. I don't really ever mop too much, but wiping down stains on the floor and also on the cabinets is something that has to happen. So this is definitely more of a deep cleaning type thing. It's not just the normal, sweeping and keeping up with everyday cleaning, but going around and wiping down the refrigerator and the cabinets and all the different appliances and stains on the floor. And I think that it's really important to find little blocks of time to do these types of chores. I feel like a lot of times, deep cleaning can be very overwhelming, and thinking about going around and cleaning the entire kitchen and, deep cleaning can feel like it's this big, huge job. But I never really have these big, large pockets of time to do that type of cleaning. And so I just throw it in when I can and get done what I can, and then just kind of move on. So this afternoon, my baby took a little bit more of a longer nap than usual. He is a horrible napper. He sleeps wonderful at night, but he has always been a bad napper. I'm not really sure. Unless I'm holding him, the boy does not like to sleep more than like 20 minutes at a time. I don't know why. But on this particular day, he surprised me and he probably slept like an hour, which for him is like a really long time. And so I had a few extra minutes and I noticed that everything was looking pretty grimy and dirty and fingerprints and all of that. And so it was just time to go around and do a quick wipe down. This last meal that I'm going to be sharing with you is a chicken pasta, and this one was kind of just inspired by the fact that I had a whole chicken in the refrigerator that was not completely defrosted. Now, anytime I have a whole chicken that's not defrosted all the way, I like to cook it in my Instapot because it's just a quick way to make chicken, and also it makes it really nice for shredding for a pasta, or for, you know, if you're making like chicken sandwiches or wraps or something of that sort. I don't particularly love eating just like plain chicken out of the Instapot. I would way rather roast it, but whenever it is partially frozen, I feel like that would take a really long time to bake. And so instead of putting it in the oven, I put it in the Instapot and knew I was going to do something with this shredded chicken, but wasn't really sure what. So I just kind of started pondering things as I was putting the chicken in. I don't know about you guys, but that's how a lot of my meals start, are just by, you know, pulling out the meat that's in my fridge, looking around at different things I had. I noticed I had some bacon that was defrosted. I had some pasta that was in the pantry. I had a bunch of random veggies and cheese. And so I just started pondering different things and decided that I could definitely whip up a chicken pasta. This is why I don't always share links to recipes and things that I'm making, because a lot of things that I make are just kind of made up on the fly. Anytime that I do have a link for a particular recipe, I will always link it down in the description box. But like I said, a lot of the times I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. And when I see certain ingredients, or, you know, just like I said, the chicken's still frozen, so then I kind of like jump ships and change. Most likely when I put that chicken in the refrigerator to defrost, I was thinking that I would do like roasted chicken with some vegetables, and just kind of change my mind here a little bit, just depending on the different ingredients that I had. Once this bacon is done cooking, I'm going to remove it all from the cast iron skillet, and then I'll let this cool slightly, and then I will strain it into a bowl. And this will, once it cools, I'll just put it in my refrigerator. And like I said, I'll use that to fry up eggs this week, or just with anything else that I am frying. I had about a half of an onion that was diced up in the refrigerator, so I added that in to saute, and then also some spinach. Just different ingredients that I knew would work well with a pasta. And then there was my little mistake I made. I added in a can of Rotel, but it was hot, like really spicy. I didn't realize how spicy it was. I don't even really know what that was from. It was in my pantry. I probably bought it for some type of recipe, maybe for like Christmas or New Year's, I don't really know, and didn't use it. And so my kids did not particularly love this dish, because and all of them actually are pretty good with hot stuff. They like hot things, but several of them complained that this was way too hot. And then I realized later on that that can had said like really hot on. I think it had habaneros in it. So that was a little bit of a mistake. But my husband and I loved this dish, so we ended up eating this for several meals because there was a lot of leftovers, because the kids only ate a small amount of it. feel like the most important thing about being a homemaker and cooking from scratch is having a really well-stocked pantry, fridge, freezer, and if you have staples always in your kitchen, you can pretty much whip up any type of meal, like a really healthy, delicious meal just on a whim, kind of like what I'm doing here. This was so good, and it was full of very healthy protein, different vegetables, and it was all just things that I had in my refrigerator, pantry, freezer, and I try my best to keep these types of things in there always, so then I can do this whenever I need to make a meal. I don't necessarily go to the store with recipes in mind and buy particular things. I typically just buy all the things that I know that I need, and then I can go from there when it's time to make a meal. Now, anytime I make anything with a chicken, I always save all the bones. I just put them right back into my Instapot, and I'm getting that going for bone broth, and then that will be ready to make a soup or a stew later on this week.